Pleasant day to each health and safety professional all over the world. The year 2025 theme for Health and Safety Day celebration is Revolutionizing Health and Safety, the role of AI and digitalization at work. I mean, AI, which simply means artificial intelligence, is here to stay. And I'm going to speak on this in respect to my own field in which I specialize, which is transportation business. So while we leverage on AI to do our work, there are advantages and there are disadvantages. I'll give you an example of where we use some of this AI and digitalization to do our work, to help us do our work effectively, and the advantages it brings to the system in transportation business. For example, we don't allow anyone who is drunk to drive any truck. Therefore, we have a breathalyzer that we use in testing someone who is actually high on drugs and alcohol. Right now, this breathalyzer helps us to identify those persons. That is an advantage. That means if we can proactively detect someone who is high and then stop that person from driving a truck before he goes and cause an accident on the road. That is an advantage for us. What is the disadvantage of this breathalyzer? At times, the result comes out negatively. Meanwhile, the person is actually high. That means it gives you error result. I give an example. There was a driver that was actually high. I could perceive the smell of alcohol from this driver's breath, and we used a breathalyzer on this driver. The result came out negative, but because I sensed and perceived the smell of alcohol from him, I had to stop him. What if I didn't perceive it and I allowed him to go and drive? So you see this disadvantage. I'll give an example of another advantage we have using AI and digitalization to work. IVMS, in-vehicle monitoring systems, they are very good. So you can be in the comfort of your office and you know when the driver is over speeding, you know when the driver is following an unauthorized route, you know when the driver is harsh braking and all of that, with a tracking device installed in the truck. That is an advantage. You can also know your fuel consumption from your tracking device. But do you know that there's also an error that comes with it? There are times that your truck might even be parked in your yard and your tracking device is telling you that the truck is on transit. Are you seeing the advantage of technology and disadvantage? And so if time is not taken, you could also see a driver violating in the tracking device. Meanwhile, in reality, he or she is not violating. And then maybe if you judge your driver based on this data from the tracking device, you might just punish the driver unfairly or unjustly. I'll give another example. Like in training or when you're doing your drive test, I've seen people that use simulator to test their drivers. It's of an advantage, okay? Because you cannot have an accident using a simulator. Simulator is you're in the office using your computer to test driver that can drive. But then the disadvantage are these drivers will not have the real world experience out there. Those weather conditions, those unpredictable actions of other drivers, you are not going to have them out there. So a driver can perform very well with a simulator, but we do very, very bad on the road in real life. But I can assure you that a driver who does well in real life and is being given a simulator can pass it within the twinkle of an eye. So what am I trying to say? The simulator is good because it saves you from accident, right? But there are disadvantages. So we have advantages and disadvantages of AI and digitalization in every business. Why we take leverage on these AI and digitalization is also very pertinent, very sacrosanct. We know that they have limitations, so we must go ahead of this AI and the digitalization to checkmate that what the data that is given us is of integrity before we take any action. I mean, the AI and digitalization, speed up our work, make our work, very seamless. So let's not also get carried away with this AI and digitalization. Let's also train ourselves, humans, to come up to speed, to be able to detect when this AI and this digitalization data, there's a deviation in them. So we need to train ourselves to also be able to detect when there's a deviation. I mean, AI is good, digitalization is good, they have their advantages, they have these disadvantages. Train yourself to come up to speed, to know when there's a deviation from normalcy. Happy health and safety day to every health and safety professional all over the world. Thank you.